Hello everyone and welcome back. My name's X and we got another video for you today. Today is another Halo news video because in just a few days the map migration of legacy Halo maps to the Halo MCC is about to begin for Halo 3, Halo Reach, and Halo 4. If you don't do it by August 26th, they will not make it over. So remember, you have to have these maps on your file share in the legacy games in order for them to transfer over. Make sure to also, after you get all the maps on there, it's all set and everything, that on August 26th, make sure to get on Halo MCC and just be loaded onto it, and it'll do the transfer. The maps will not be there right away. They will still take some time. They're going to be put on ice for a bit before they transfer over because of possible situations. One thing I can theorize is that the reason why they won't allow you to touch the files yet is if they give you the Halo Reach files, that if you try to access them when Reach isn't even out yet, that it'll cause the game to get bugged up and crash. But so for the time being, they're just holding them off, but they are in your name and they will find their way to you. All you gotta do is just wait for a bit, and after the Halo Reach comes out, they said that it shouldn't be long after Halo Reach comes to the PC version of MCC, they should be able to access all these custom games, all the game types and all the maps. If you didn't know already, the game type migration already happened, and now it's going to be the maps that are coming. So again, these are a one-time only situation. They're not going to be doing it again, so unless someone magically finds a way to mod in those things, which I don't think that's how it works, but that's what I said, that there'd be no way to make a tool to do that from Halo 3, Halo Reach, and Halo 4 to the MCC. That wouldn't be possible. It's not just a simple copy file over, but because of the fact that the Halo MCC is configured differently, that it'll actually have some difficulties trying to get that over. But anyways, so that's it for what's going to be happening. As for what they're going to do with Halo CE and Halo 2, I mean, I still am hoping that they'll do maybe Halo 2 Vista and Halo Custom Edition, maybe importing some of those maps over, because there's some really cool ones the community made, but I know that obviously that wasn't from Xbox Live, that was on PC. So maybe they can just find the very top, very popular ones, maybe even do like a vote or something on what people want, and then just just tell people that, hey, we're gonna transfer over some of these maps from the originals, and if you guys like them, just vote up them, and whichever ones get like the most popular top 10 or whatever get transferred over. That'd be cool if they could do that for the Halo CE and Halo 2 at least, because there were some really popular ones, like I'm not sure if you guys remember, one of them was like Chronopolis or something like that. That was a pretty fun custom game, and a few others like that. And one where you get the battle inside the I think it was the Pillar of Autumn's reactor with against Flood and Covenant, and you just get to go battle against bots for a while and have that big bot battle in Blood Gulch. So there's a lot of cool modded custom creations out there that are on the halomaps.org that still exist, and they said that they've tried and actually successfully got one Halo CE map that was made by the community over onto the MCC and tested it out and tried it out, and it worked. So it'd be really cool to do that. And again, Halo CE and Halo 2 on MCC currently are using the PC version, so that'd be really something cool, that if Postums could look into that and see if they could actually make that possible, at least grab some of them that were really popular, just grab a whole bunch of those popular ones and bring them over for us to have fun with. But that's the end of it for news-wise for this. But there's also more news to announce. So while looking through, this kind of stuff so far, if you guys can help us with this, there's a lot of custom games that I could not find. Like, I know the names of them. Some people mentioned that they have the files. They'll try bringing on their file share. But the more the merrier to get this on their file share. There's a lot of custom creations that I mentioned in my last video that we have not been able to successfully find people for that have that. I think a few of these I'll get into the details with, but overall I was able to find the Predator map. I actually did have it. I thought I deleted it, but no, it was right there on my file share, or in my files, my local stored files, and I put that on my file share now, so that's on there. I've also put a couple others, Bullfight and Space Station I also found, thankfully, and ZOMSTRUCT. It's not completed. I'm using the one that someone someone had a video for, but there's actually a version that I remember, and I'm editing it a bit just so that all the teleporters are in a way that's in a cool way, where it's actually got this kind of like maze through construct. But those are the ones I was able to find. The ones I'm not able to find, that if anyone can find them, it would just be absolutely amazing. The biggest one right now that I cannot find for the life of me, there's only like one video of it and a couple pictures that I'll show, but that's all that exists. Is it's a custom creation on the map standoff for infection called the Fortress of Damnation. It's also called Fort Infection or the Fortress. And it's like a map from like Outpost 29 or something like that, or I think that's the name of it, from Starship Troopers. It's kind of like that, where the zombies are attacking the wall and you have to defend it, and slowly the walls start crumbling away as you start destroying the barriers, and it starts falling apart, and you have to fall back. You try to hold out until the time runs out, and if all else fails, you gotta jump up to that little area up top. It's like a little transport thing that they made, a little crate, and you have to get into it and hold them off. It's really fun. It's just the whole design of it is just absolutely amazing. It's got a gateway that the only way to get through it is through vehicles, so it keeps the zombies out. But yeah, it's really cool, and unfortunately, I can't find this custom creation. I have went through every file pretty much that I could find that was on the map standoff, and I can't find any of the people that had it. Like the 2 people that were the original creators, just can't find them, unfortunately. I could find them, but their files, like their file shares, got wiped. So unfortunately, no one else I know has this, but it was a very fun custom creation. That's one of them. There's also Dark Lord Manor, or other people know it as Michael Jackson or Neverland Ranch. I think like 1 or 2 other people said they have the original one and they're putting on their file share. I didn't get their names, but they're putting that down there, so that's cool. There's another one, I'm not sure, I have to look into this more, but there's one called Convoy Ambush, I believe it is. Sometimes it's called Convoy Tunnel or Security Tunnel. It's on Foundry. It's kind of similar to Omega Journey. I'm not sure if they're similar, like it was slightly alterations done to it, but or if it's just a name difference that some people call it. But it's that's one I've seen that also I just have not been able to find, but I found like names of the file on the file share, but the people that it goes to, either it's not on their file share anymore, they don't exist anymore, or the person that has it doesn't have like a name next to them anymore, or their name probably changed, they changed their gamer tag. So yeah, unfortunately those don't show there. Also Tunnel Rats, that one I have not been able to find either. That's a really cool one. It's like where you go in the little tunnel areas hiding from the zombies, crawling around inside a Foundry, where you just keep crawling through tunnels and trying to hold off the zombies. Couldn't find that. One of the really popular custom creations that I'm surprised I cannot find anywhere. I have looked, I'm trying to think of other words to search by for tags, but I am not having any luck, and that is Calorie Road. It's a very popular one, of probably the first zombie map I can think of, the first like Fat Kid zombie map in Halo 3, but unfortunately I cannot find it. All there is are YouTube videos of it. There's no, like, everywhere I look I cannot find this Forge map anywhere. Also, some of the shark maps, there's a couple of them. There's one on High Ground. That one's, you know, a lot of people call it Jaws, where you try to stand on the poles and stuff like that, and like the Jaws tries to knock them over, and you try to like stay out of the water because the sharks will get you. Then there's another one on Last Resort where you're on a boat and the sharks try to destroy the inside of the boat and make you fall through, so you have to keep jumping around and try not to fall in, because otherwise the zombies can get you. And also one on Longshore, which is really cool. I think I found that one. I think I put the name next to that person, but basically you have little dinghies, and you have to melee them to get from one side to the other side, and you have to do it quick, or else the zombies will get you and they'll knock it over. You gotta keep like holding off. One person, you know, defend on the dinghy, just shoot the sharks, and then the other person keeps meleeing the boat till it gets all the way to the other side, so you can get to the weapons and everything. Those are some shark maps that either I found them or I didn't find them, but I found the name of the person. Then there's actually one that I've actually not been able to find, which is surprising. That's Station 69. A lot of people might remember this map as the the infamous Cops and Robbers map. It's a very popular one that was back in the day for Cops and Robbers, and unfortunately, I can't find that. I think I saw a video though of someone playing it on Halo MCC, a remake of it, but it would be cool to have the original. But yeah, so far I have not been able to find that one. Also, another very popular one that I cannot find is Mexican Bull Run. I have looked high and low on this one. I've tried every different word search that I could think of. If you guys remember Mexican Bull Run, that was on Rat's Nest, where you have to run away from the bulls, who are usually driving either ghosts or brute choppers, and they're trying to, you know, splatter you, and you're, you know, colored red and trying to run away from them. It's pretty fun, but unfortunately I cannot find that one. I actually found it in Halo Reach, but not the original Halo 3 version. Also Survivor Rescue, which is similar to a couple of other ones like Hulk and I'm trying to think of the other ones. I think there's a Cat and Mouse and a couple others that existed back in the day, but they just it's kind of the same thing, just slightly alterations. I think that they just use goshawks instead, and the zombies are camouflaged, but that's it's on Standoff. Then there's also Long Bridge of Death. It's another map on Standoff or Infection. It's one where it's like a castle in the sky, kind of, where one side of the map the zombies try to drive on mongooses to get over, and you have to stop them from getting over because they're going to bounce their way over, and once they get across, they get in, and then they can attack you. So you have to hold the bridge down, but it becomes very difficult to try and snipe them because they can just bounce all the way across. Then there's another one on Rat's Nest, Tank on Tank. If you guys remember that one, where it's one person in a tank and he's driving around, and all the mongooses are trying to avoid him and trying to drive every which way. Some people even try to make it more insane by putting 2 tanks on that map. I'm not sure if you're allowed to, and someone modded it or not, but it was pretty funny because you have 2 tanks just rolling around, and people are trying to just avoid getting shot by the tank. There's also another one, I cannot even find video of it. I just recall it from back in the day. It was a really fun competitive game mode called Sniper Corner, where basically you can't see the enemy side. All you can do is snipe the angles on the little gaps and try to hit someone, and you just do all these ricochet shots with their sniper rifle and try to hit them. It's really funny because you can't see the enemy team, but you can ricochet the shots, and it's just really ridiculous. I think you can even play Infection too, which made it even more interesting because it would be one person sniping, and then they would kill them, and then next thing you know, there's more people that are sniping that are infected, and you're just trying to avoid getting sniped by the zombies. Oh man, there were some fun ones. There's another competitive one I actually did find as well. It was called BR Tourney, or World Tournament, or just Tournament. I'm also carrying that one over too. That's a pretty cool one. It's most people probably remember it as a map where it's like meant for 8 players, and you square off one against another person. If you kill them, then you get to go against the other person that's on the other side, and then once you kill that person, then the last 2 people go head to head and try and get to the end and win. So those are the ones in Halo 3 right now. Currently, it's just having a difficult time finding. Also, when it comes to Halo Reach, the Godzilla City map, I have not been able to find that for some reason. I tried looking, and it turns out the ones I thought I had were not the correct ones. It wasn't the modded one. Instead, it was a art creation. So that was a little bit disappointing because there's a modded version where the infected player is like a gigantic dinosaur, playing as an elite, running around the city chasing after you. That one's pretty fun. There's another, the Michael Myers. I heard one person has this. I can't remember the name, but they did have it, and they're putting on their file share. It's really cool. It's like the laboratory where they're constantly just running around. I could not find it anywhere in the file share searching that Halo Reach has, which is pretty cool. I just wasn't able to find it. Then there is Shark Tank. It's a pretty cool one. Some people call it, I think, Swordfish, but basically you fly around with hornets, and the infected can jump up in the air and try and slice you and explode your vehicles. That's a pretty interesting one because you got to keep avoiding it, and you have all these like people jumping up trying to shake you. And then you have Chasing the Asian, or Chasing the Asians. Not sure what's the most common way to say it, but basically the team, one team that's the humans are yellow, and they have to keep evading the affected, and they can do all these rolls around and just keep ninja rolling. It's so fun to just dodge dodge the infected. You're doing all these crazy jumps, but couldn't find that one. And also the other one I couldn't find, I think I had it on mine, I'm not sure, but it was a really fun one. It's called 9/11 reenactment. I know it's pretty offensive there, but it's basically where one team's on top of a tower and they take focused rifles and rocket launchers and all sorts of stuff, and they have to stop the enemy team that are in Banshees trying to kamikaze into the tower, and you get to shoot them down and use like grenade launchers to EMP them and cause them to fall and all sorts of cool stuff. It's really fun, but so far I haven't been able to find any of those on Reach either. When it comes to Halo 4 too, there's also a couple others I'm not able to find. The Research Facility Bravo, which is like called sometimes Artifact Run. Couldn't find that one. It's a fun infected one where I think it's a progressive infected map where you have to go from one point to another. Another one I wasn't able to find is Royal Rocketeers, also Mortal Kombat, Ghost Grapple, Meta Ridley, Bridge Topple, Home Defense, and ROID Run. ROID Run, I was able to find the map, but I wasn't able to find the game type. I'm not sure if anyone was lucky enough to actually get this on there, because I just had no luck at all trying to get this in there. So unfortunately, it just didn't happen, unfortunately. I'm not sure, unless someone else happened to get that game type in there. And unfortunately, that game type I believe is modded, so unless you have it, there's no way to actually just make it afterwards. So that'll be unfortunate. The only person that had it, I believe, he's actually a YouTuber called Zany. I believe that's his, but I was just not able to find the game type. I was able to find the map, but not the game type. A number of reasons why I think a lot of these game types and maps were not able to be found was, I think, two reasons. If they were modded, they were recently taken down, or not recently, but taken down a while ago, and were wiped from the file share momentarily, and also any offensive names. That's why I was like, when I tried to look for Mexican Bull Run or Chasing the Asian or Michael Jackson or Michael Myers, I feel like that for some reason that they got rid of a lot of the maps depending on their names, like Station 69. I think there's something about that they just tried to censor out a bunch of them, so they took them off the file share, and unfortunately because of that, now I can't find them. But yeah, that's it for when it comes to the custom game list here. There's just been a lot of people that have been supportive about this, and I'm still updating it, and there's still tons of people telling me, oh, update this, update that, and I got like such a long list I'm still not even finished with, and by the time you see this video I've updated it again. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of updates, and I even added extra segments to this. So there's just the main one where everyone posts everything, and then the other ones I kind of just like go to those categories and add them in. So because I've found that I'm more of a zombie and mini game type of custom game person, but there's people that are competitive, people that like racing, people that like puzzles and so forth, people that just like making forage creations and so forth. So a lot of people just want to put in a bunch of different ones, and I found that since there's so many categories and it's just gonna make it long just to do one list, I kind of separate instead to make separate segment categories. And also, if you notice, this is what the future of the custom game list is, because there's just tons of people viewing it, and I think like when I first started I was getting almost like 10 to 20 people viewing it at any given hour, and now it's like it's died down to at least like 1 an hour, at least sometimes 5 an hour, but there's still a lot of people that are viewing this. And the thing is, I don't want it to end after this. I don't want it to be like, okay, after the migration's over there's no more use for this. So I decided how I'm gonna do this. So what I'm gonna do is keep it up there, because I know there's a lot of people that want to have their custom games remembered, so it's still gonna stay up there just in case someone wants to go back and recreate it and make new additions to it. And also with Halo 2 Anniversary and Halo 5, as well as Halo Infinite, if there's new custom creations to come. There's going to be, when Halo Infinite comes out, there's some fun custom creations that people can go and add this to the list, and I'll update it, and then we can have some cool stuff with that, with adding more stuff to the game, or add to the list here, so that people can find it easier and find who the person was that made it and everything, so that way it's all available for them. But on top of that, all this stuff I was originally gonna just get rid of this and simplify it, but instead I'm gonna continue with it. I'm gonna add another tab to this, one that's gonna be called the Halo Custom Archive. If you guys remember, if you guys are some of the people that have been subscribed to my channel earlier and know about the Halo Custom Archive, then you know what this is. And so what it's gonna be is I'm gonna actually add some of these custom creations to the list that I'll eventually be doing in YouTube videos way later down the line. So things that won't be on that list, just giving you a heads up, like unless it's a very, very, very well pronounced competitive game or forge creation or racing map or puzzle map, unless it's something crazy like that, chances are I'm just not gonna end up covering those, because there's so many racing maps, there's so many competitive maps, and if it's just a cool map someone went through and forged, that's great and everything. But it's more about like people that just like things that made it memorable, that people really enjoyed about that custom creation. So it's going to be like that with a lot of them. I'm not going to do any ones that were made by the developers, because we have a whole wiki for those. So like something like Dish of Doom is going to be an example of one that I won't be covering because of the fact that that was created for or by Bungie. So that one's not going to be covered. But also, no custom creations that were recreations of the same thing. So like, for example, the Mexican Bull Run, I'll be doing it based off the Halo 3 and how it evolves from there. So I won't be like, you know, giving one for Halo Reach and Halo 4. I'm going to show the evolutions that came to Halo Reach and Halo 4, but I'm not going to do like a separate video for each individual one, and I'm going to keep the category minimized. So when I say Mexican Bull Run, it's going to be Mexican Bull Run, and it's going to be all the custom games that all the Halo games that it's ever been in for custom games, and not like, okay, Halo 3, Halo Reach, Halo 4, Halo 2 Anniversary, Halo 5. No, it's going to be more simplified. It's going to be where did it start from and how many games has it been in Halo, you know, all those games, Halo 3, Halo 4, Halo 5, so forth. So that's how it's going to work, and you're going to see later on when I add it in there. But for the time being, I'm not going to add it just yet, because I got a ton more to keep adding, and once I finally finish adding in everyone's lists and everything, which I'm getting close to the end here finally, after getting like through 500 of them, I'm finally almost at the end. Then I'll start adding that in, but for the time being, it's not going to be up yet, but just keep your eye out on it. I'll probably announce it maybe, but again, make sure to get these files on your file share for maps, because if you don't get on your file share, it's not going to pull from your local file. So you go, oh well, I have hundreds of these, it'll pull them all over. No, they're going to only pull over whatever on your file share. So 24 on Halo 3 and Halo Reach, and 25 on Halo 4. I think that's right, yeah. Halo 3, Halo Reach are 24, and Halo 4 is 25. So yeah, you're very limited on what you can bring over. This is why we're trying to do it where everyone takes a little bit, like, okay, I'll grab these maps and you'll grab these maps, and so that way we can get as many maps covered as possible. So make sure to like just, you know, note down like, hey, I got this map, it's on my file share, and put it down on there, so that way you not only, you know, help me out, but it also helps out everyone else that's looking for that custom creation. After the migration happens, they can find that specific person that they're looking for and get it migrated over. Anyways, I think I've talked enough here. I think you guys are, you know, it's been 22 minutes now, so I'm gonna wrap everything up here. So thank you guys all for watching. If there's any other custom creations, other like custom maps and stuff like that you want me to list down below, put them down there, and you know, definitely give me more info as much as you can, like who the person was that created the map or the game type, whoever, what were the names for the game type and the map, you know, all that information that I have fields for, fill them out and let me know, so that way it kind of helps me out, put this information in there for later. And if you guys have any other concerns or stuff like that, just put them down in the comment section of the video, and or you can go to the Reddit page and post about it. And you know, rate this video, give it a like, share it around with other people so they know where to find the Halo custom game list, so that, you know, helps bring as many custom games as possible over. And again, subscribe, hit notifications for updates, and we should be all good. Anyways, you guys have a great rest of your day and take care. Peace.
One.